southeast as predicted and expected, but the pace of movement is somewhat unpredictable.
Is it a cloud that has an end, if you know what I mean? Because clearly the volcano is still spewing out dust and various items of ash, but does this particular cloud have an end?
I'm afraid I can't answer that. I haven't got that sort of information to hand.
It's the idea that at some point it will pass over the country and move on, is what I'm getting at. That's your understanding of what will happen?
Oh, absolutely. I would expect that to happen, and that's what's happened in other cases in other parts of the world that have been just as serious in the past.
OK. We thank you very much indeed for your update, for bringing us more information, which, of course, we will continue to do throughout the evening here on BBC News. That was Bob Jones from the Civil Aviation Authority. Let's bring you the all-important weather forecast now from Louise Lear.
Thank you. Well, it's upper level winds that are driving the cloud at the moment. So across the UK, it's been quite a quiet day today, but you can see that cloud spilling across parts of Iceland and into Scotland. Now, through the night tonight, the cloud will clear away through Scotland. It's going to be a clear and chilly night for many of us, particularly across Scotland and Northern Ireland. Here in rural spots, we could see a touch of frost as well. Fair amount of cloud generally across England and Wales. So here we'll see those temperatures bearing up around 5 or 7 degrees, 2 to 3, and as I say, close to freezing, perhaps in more rural areas. So we start off tomorrow with some decent spells of sunshine to the north. That cloud should thin and break across England, and eventually we'll see some sunny spells continuing to break through. So into the afternoon, it's not going to be too bad. Again, it's going to be another quiet day with largely sunny skies and highs generally of around 11 to 15 degrees across the country. So all in all, it looks quite pleasant. It will stay dry as we approach the weekend as well, turning a little bit colder from the far north of Scotland later on.
What I'm angry and want to protest about is
the camera work should have shown a little more of
the context within which his comments were being made.
I'll never forget the build-up and then the wonderful feeling, followed by football.
What about the pigs and the sheep?
Or many other serious and proper news stories in the UK.
When you question the news, we question the newsmakers.
I'm joined by the controller of the BBC News Channel. What have you got to say to those viewers?
Newswatch, tomorrow night at 8:45 on the BBC News Channel.
An aviation lockdown. For the first time ever, British airspace is closed to all flights. This is the reason: a massive tower of volcanic ash from Iceland drifting across Britain. It's a danger to aircraft. Every flight in and out of the UK has been cancelled until tomorrow at the earliest, affecting hundreds of thousands of passengers.
Why is there a delay? It's no covering ground level, is it? Surely. So why the delay? It's appalling.
Potentially it might mean that we can have another night in Paris, away from home, but I mean, at the minute we're just standing in a long queue.
Strong winds are carrying the ash further east and south, and it could sit over the UK until the weekend.
We're following international contingency plans on how to deal with volcanic ash, and that ensures a safe operation, ensures that commercial aircraft aren't affected by the current situation.
And here in Manchester, we are all set for the historic televised debate taking place tonight. For Gordon Brown, Nick Clegg and David Cameron, the time for rehearsing is over. They know this is an event which could change the course of this election.
I've been looking for this chance to get my chance to talk directly to the people of this country, and that's what I'm going to do.
Above all, I'm looking forward to, because it's a great opportunity.
I'm a little bit nervous, but also quite excited.
And we'll be asking voters in marginal seats what they're hoping to hear from the leaders.
And
in sport, 2 leading snooker players are facing allegations of match fixing. The case against Jamie Burnett and Stephen Maguire is being referred to the public prosecutor in Scotland.
Good evening and welcome to the BBC's News at 6. We're live at Heathrow Airport, where one of the world's busiest hubs has been brought to a complete standstill. For the first time in British aviation history, all flights in and out of the UK have been cancelled. A massive cloud of ash that's drifted over from an Icelandic volcano has made flying in British airspace dangerous. Hundreds of thousands of passengers have been affected. Just here at Heathrow, nearly 1,000 flights have been cancelled. The huge plume of dust has come from a volcano which erupted back into life on Tuesday. At 8 o'clock last night, flights from northern Scotland were cancelled. By dawn, Edinburgh and Glasgow airports were closed. And as the cloud pushed south, Newcastle, Leeds, Bradford and Manchester airports cancelled all their flights. Then it was Belfast, Birmingham and East Midlands airports. By noon, all UK airspace was closed except for emergencies. We're not alone. Norway, Denmark, France and the Netherlands are all affected. Now, with a roundup of the day's extraordinary events, here's our transport correspondent, Richard Scott.
The Earth's fury unleashed. It may be 1,000 miles away, but this volcano has sent us back to the 19th century. Not since before the Wright brothers have our skies been so quiet. The National Air Traffic Service says the total grounding of all UK flights is unprecedented. Even after 9/11, there wasn't this level of restriction. It means deserted airports, confused passengers and cancelled flights. Up to 600,000 people are affected.
This is our first holiday in 4 years. We really need it. We've had lots of things going on at home, and just getting up motorway with all these children is all done in itself. And now the potential of not going today is like, well, it's devastating.
Safety is paramount in this industry, obviously, with the flights, and that's more important than anything.
And of course it's the same for Britons stranded abroad. No planes are going in or out of the UK.
We've been told our flights are completely cancelled, all of UK and Ireland, so there's very little information about that we know what to do.
The organisation in charge of our airspace said it had no choice but to shut it down.
We're following international contingency plans on how to deal with volcanic ash, and that ensures a safe operation, ensures that commercial aircraft aren't affected by the current situation.
Heathrow, of course, is no stranger to major incidents. Strikes, an IRA attack, 9/11 and the weather have all taken a serious toll on operations in the past. But those